Picture this. You wake up in the morning. You haven't spoken to another human being. You haven't had coffee. You haven't even fully loaded into consciousness yet. And already your phone is there, glowing beside you like a tiny rectangular manager. Good morning. You have 47 notifications. 3 people need responses. 1 app misses you. Your screen time is up 18%. Also, someone from school you haven't spoken to in 11 years is now engaged in Santorini, so please compare your entire life against that immediately. And somehow, before your feet have even touched the floor, you're already behind. Not behind on anything specific, just spiritually behind. That's the weird thing about modern life. Your phone was supposed to make things easier. It was supposed to be a tool, a convenience, a little magic slab that lets you call people, take photos, check directions, maybe occasionally Google whether you can eat slightly expired hummus. But somewhere along the way, your phone stopped being a tool and became your second boss. Not officially, obviously. There's no HR department, no contract, no Christmas bonus, just a constant stream of tiny demands delivered directly into your nervous system. Reply to this, check that, remember this, look at this, react to this, buy this, improve yourself. Track yourself, compare yourself, optimize yourself. And while you're at it, please relax, which is a bit like someone throwing bricks at your head and then asking why you seem tense. The problem isn't just that we use our phones too much. That's the boring version of the argument. Everyone knows that. Your nan knows that. Your phone knows that. It literally tells you every week with the emotional subtlety of a disappointed priest. Your screen time was up 22% this week. Thank you, tiny shame rectangle. Very helpful. The real problem is that your phone has quietly absorbed half the jobs that used to be spread across your life. It is your alarm clock, your calendar, your bank, your map, your camera, your notebook, your entertainment, your inbox, your social life, your work portal, your news source, your weather forecast, your dopamine dealer, your guilt machine, and for some reason, your torch. So when people say, just use your phone less, it sounds simple, but it's not. Because using your phone less in 2026 is not like saying, watch less TV. It's more like saying, please use less electricity. Brilliant. Lovely idea. Unfortunately, everything is plugged into it. And because everything is on the phone gets to interrupt everything. You can be having a genuinely peaceful moment, sitting with a cup of tea, looking out the window, briefly experiencing the ancient human emotion known as being fine. Then your phone buzzes, and instantly your brain goes, ah, yes, a task. Even if it's nothing, even if it's an app telling you that a pair of socks you looked at once in 2022 is now 11% off, your body doesn't know that. Your nervous system doesn't go, relax, this is merely sock-based marketing. It just hears the buzz and prepares for responsibility. That's the first way your phone becomes your boss. It assigns you work, not big work, not meaningful work, micro work. A message you need to answer, an email you need to ignore professionally, a group chat you need to pretend you're still emotionally available for, a notification you need to swipe away, a reminder that you forgot something, a photo memory from 5 years ago, just in case you wanted to be attacked by your own haircut. Tiny tasks, all day, and none of them feel individually dramatic, so you don't count them, but your brain counts them. Your attention gets chopped into tiny little pieces, like emotional coleslaw, and then at the end of the day, you wonder why you're exhausted even though you did nothing. You didn't do nothing. You were being managed by a device with no lunch break. The second way your phone becomes your boss is that it turns free time into performance. This is the really sneaky one, because even when you're not working, your phone gives you new jobs. You should be fitter. You should be better dressed. You should cook more. You should travel more. You should have a side hustle. You should read more. You should be more informed. You should be calmer. You should be more spontaneous, but also more disciplined, but also more authentic, but also more productive, but also somehow not care what people think. It's a lot. You open your phone for a break and come away with 12 new versions of yourself you're apparently failing to become. That is not rest. That is unpaid self-admin. And it's made worse by the fact that everyone else's life arrives pre-edited. You see the holiday, not the airport argument, the gym photo, not the 3 weeks they didn't go, the perfect kitchen, not the drawer full of cables, batteries, and one mysterious screw nobody understands. Everyone else looks like they're living a clean, intentional, well-lit existence. Meanwhile, you're eating cereal out of a mug because the bowls are in the dishwasher, and the dishwasher is emotionally not your problem right now. And you know it's fake. You know social media is curated. You know nobody posts just spent 40 minutes looking for my keys and briefly questioned my entire personality. But knowing something is fake does not stop it from affecting you. A horror film is fake. You still check behind the shower curtain afterwards like a Victorian orphan. The third way your phone becomes your boss is that it destroys the border between available and not available. There used to be places where people simply couldn't reach you. The bus, the shop, the bathroom, your bed, a field, the sacred emotional wilderness of, I didn't see your message. Now being unreachable feels suspicious. If someone messages you and you don't respond, there's often this invisible timer that starts counting down in their head. 1 hour, probably busy. 3 hours, maybe rude. 8 hours, dead or hates me. 24 hours, both. And because we know that timer exists, we carry it around with us. So even when nobody is actively demanding anything, you can feel the possibility of being demanded. That's not peace. That's being on call. And I think this is why so many people feel tired in a way sleep doesn't fully fix. Because it's not just physical tiredness, it's attention tiredness. It's the fatigue of never fully closing the door. Your body might be sitting on the couch, but your brain is still at the front desk taking inquiries. Hello, yes, one moment, I'll transfer you to anxiety. And look, I'm not going to sit here and pretend the answer is to throw your phone into the sea. First of all, the sea has enough problems. Second, phones are genuinely useful. I like having maps, I like music, I like being able to take a photo of a weird dog and send it to someone with no context. These are the fruits of civilization. The goal isn't to become a monk who only communicates by handwritten letter and suspicious eye contact. The goal is to demote your phone. Because right now, for a lot of us, the phone is in charge. It decides when you look. It decides what you think about. It decides what counts as urgent. It decides when your attention gets interrupted. And that arrangement is ridiculous. So imagine hiring an assistant who bursts into your room 200 times a day to say things like, someone likes something, a stranger is angry, you might enjoy this lamp, and here is a memory of your ex. You would fire them by lunchtime. But because it's on a phone, we call it normal. So the question is not, how do I quit my phone? The question is, how do I make my phone work for me again? And the answer starts with being more rude to it. Not dramatic, just rude. Turn off notifications that are not from actual humans or genuinely important systems. Put apps where your thumb can't automatically find them, like a truffle pig for dopamine. Stop letting every app have permission to behave like it's the Prime Minister. And maybe most importantly, create moments in the day where your phone is not invited. Not because phones are evil, but because your brain needs somewhere to sit down without being handed a clipboard. 10 minutes in the morning before you check it. A walk without headphones. Dinner without it beside the plate like a tiny glass supervisor. An hour at night where it charges somewhere that is not within panic-reaching distance of your pillow. Small things, because the aim isn't perfection. Perfection is just another app trying to sell you a subscription. The aim is to remember that your attention is not a public resource. It is not there for every company, every notification, every algorithm, every group chat, every headline, every stranger with a podcast microphone and a ring light. Your attention is your life, experienced in real time. And if that sounds dramatic, good. It should. Because a day doesn't feel like your life while you're living it. It just feels like Tuesday. It feels ordinary, disposable, repeatable. But that's the trick. Your life is made of ordinary Tuesdays. And if every ordinary Tuesday is sliced into notifications, feeds, replies, comparisons, reminders, adverts, outrage, and little digital errands, then eventually you wake up and wonder why you feel like you never get your own mind to yourself. Your phone should be a tool, a useful tool, a powerful tool, occasionally a deeply stupid tool, but it should not be your boss. It should not be the first thing you obey in the morning and the last thing you report to at night. So maybe the next time your phone buzzes, don't answer immediately. Let it wait. Let the tiny manager sweat for once. You might find there's a person underneath all that noise, and annoyingly, that person probably needed a break about 4 years ago.